Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer of this space, I see you and I thank you for your continued support and viewership. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, hello and welcome. Please bear with me. I'm out of practice. Things change and things, of course, stay the same. And one thing that hasn't changed, and the reason I'm wearing this hat today in honor of this video, I suppose, is to honor this hat, because one thing that hasn't changed is that every time I go out, I put my sun hat on, or one of these hats. This is my favorite one, the one I'm wearing, but I have many. But this is my favorite one because of the style factor and the practicality and the fact that I can drive with it. I'm going to talk about all its benefits. But the thing that hasn't changed is that every single time I go out, I get stopped by people in public multiple times. Surprisingly, perhaps not surprisingly, but it continues to surprise me, I should say, that it happens with such frequency on a consistent basis throughout the duration of my owning this hat. So it's a testament to this hat's, I suppose, stylish yet clearly functional nature all rolled into one. People want to know, where did you get that hat? I want one. And I tell them exactly. I actually take it off. I spell the brand out to them. I tell them where I bought it and how to buy it, how much it was, and I tell them to get one ASAP because it's such a quality investment and it's a low-cost way to protect the skin. I cannot thank my younger self enough. So if you're watching this and you're younger, I should say, than myself, I'm still young, 40s is young. I should clarify, if you're younger than myself watching this, if you're in your 20s or even if you're in your teens, having a basic skincare, which is to say moisturizer and cleanser, not in that order, cleanser and moisturizer, and then sun protection. That's it. That's all you need. And doing that every single day takes a couple minutes in the morning, couple minutes at night, bing, bang, boom, and you're done. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm extremely low maintenance when it comes to my beauty regime, if you can even call it that. Embarrassingly, I just recently got my hair cut for the first time in 11 and a half months. So I say that not to brag, but to confess rather, it's indicative of how low maintenance I am when it comes to my beauty routine. But that's not to say I'm not consistent. There are two different things. You'll see from my skincare routines that I've shared that I don't spend a lot of money at all on my skincare products, and that it's very basic. It takes a couple minutes, and it takes a couple more minutes because I'm filming it for YouTube. My point is, I don't do a whole lot to my face, to my skin. I just protect it and I preserve it. But that's what I want to talk about in this video. It's these little habits that compound over time and then it pays back. So your return on investment is enormous. So if you're willing to just put that small drop in the bucket each day, and the reason I emphasize this and I'm so passionate about this, I've said this all before, but I'm repeating it. It's just as easy not to do these little things as it is to do them. And oftentimes in the sake of, like, say, applying retin-A, once it gets past that purging phase of the acne coming out, the worse before it gets better phase. But beyond that, when you start to really use that product to change your face in the way I did, it just transformed the whole chemistry of my skin, I have to say. But in the beginning of the treatment, I did wonder, like, what is this even doing? Because after that purging phase, I was kind of waiting for something to happen and nothing's happening. And that's where the patience comes in and the consistency. I think a lot of people, not only with skincare, but in other habits, they quit way too soon. One other thing besides this hat that people stop me in public and ask me about is my skincare. And I always tell them straight up, I said retin-A for 20 some years. and sun protection, eating well, not drinking alcohol, not smoking. And when I say it out loud, it just sounds very boring and unsexy. All of these habits, I think some people want to hear that I've done something radical to get my skin to look this way. And the truth is usually boring and mundane and just not all that interesting, I have to say. But it's the truth nonetheless. So I always tell people, just as I've told and shared on YouTube, my skincare, which at this point is terribly redundant. However, perhaps a testament to my consistency in that it hasn't changed. In fact, my cleanser and my moisturizer and the basics of my skincare, apart from the retin-A part, which I started when I was 20, 21, the basics of my skincare routine have remained the same since I was like 12 years old. So it's almost laughable. But I do share nonetheless, because I think when people see someone who has achieved results in any domain, we get curious, right? I'm the same way. I want to know, what's she doing? What's in her water? I want to have some of that. So I'm always happy to share. That's why I've shared so passionately on numerous occasions about what I do to my face and my habits, what I eat, what I don't eat, what I don't do. I think all of these things, I know that it's the combination and the compounding effect and the accumulation of all these small, what I think are little habits, but as the Stoics say, the little things are not small. And over time, I think about my mother and my grandmother. I learned my skincare through my mother's modeling. She would model good skincare habits, always wearing driving gloves, always wearing a hat, always washing and moisturizing her face, putting the cream around her mouth and her eyes at night. And I just remember sitting there and watching her do her skin routine. And I quickly adopted that when I got old enough to have a little overnight bag, and I would actually look forward to it when I was sleeping over at friends' houses and going into the bathroom and taking 5 minutes to wash and moisturize my face, which I think my friends thought, what is she doing? Jenny is so strange. And I mean, that's not the main reason I was a bit peculiar, but I digress. Feeling good in our skin and putting our best face forward, we all want that. Men, women, we all want that. And especially as I get older, I have come to truly appreciate those habits that I implemented at such an early age. I thought it was normal and ordinary for 10, 11, 12-year-olds to have a basic skincare routine. And I thought it was just kind of the same as having a basic dental and hygiene routine, that everyone does it. But later, when I started talking about my skincare, especially on YouTube, I received so many comments about people in their 60s saying, I never learned how to take care of my skin. People often ask me, is it too late for me? Well, no, there's no such thing. I say this with my yoga practice, but the sooner your practice begins, the sooner your progress begins. At the topic at hand, this hat in particular, I feel like it's an exaggeration to say, but it's truly not. If anything, I'm diminishing it, because I literally get stopped multiple times every week. People asking me all over the place where I got this hat. Target, grocery store, post office. Literally, people will stop me in my tracks and say, I love your hat. Where did you get it? And then I don't have to, but I'm happy to share the details. I would highly recommend this one. I have many sun hats, like I said, but this is my absolute favorite. One of the reasons is, as you can see, it has a drawstring. So on windy days, you can just draw it up and it doesn't fly off of your head. And with me, I'm someone who walks 6 to 8 miles on average every day outside. And so not only do I need this hat, but I need it to not blow off of my head, ideally. So that's a great feature, is that it has a drawstring, and it's obviously you can adjust it accordingly. So that's really practical, a true utilitarian piece of wardrobe. I think it's the most stylish thing. So that's number one, the drawstring is practical. The second thing is that it's lightweight and it's comfortable, so I don't have to force myself to wear it, because I have other sun hats that are really cute, but they're either too tight on my head, or they leave a mark on my forehead, or they squeeze the back of my braid. It gives me a headache, all kinds of sensory issues. All of that to say is I'm not grabbing for it, certainly, unless I just want to sacrifice all of what I just said in exchange for wearing a cute hat for a couple hours. But on a day-to-day basis, absolutely not. I want comfort, usability, utility, and I want it to look cute. And then the third thing I really love about this hat, well, there's four things. The third thing I love is that the color, it's like a blended natural paper brownish color, and I like it, although it comes in multiple colors. But I prefer this hat, this natural color. I like it the most. And then the fourth thing that I like about it is that I don't have to take it off while I'm driving. So I can be protected while driving, but be safe on the road, because it's actually not that easy to find a hat that ticks all the boxes, if you will. And in my estimation and in my experience of owning this hat for years now and wearing it and buying it for other people, I've given this hat as gifts and people absolutely love it. This is the best 10 out of 10 sun hat. And so I would encourage you to get one of your own. It doesn't have to be this one, but just get any broad-brimmed hat and wear it. That's the other thing. I know it should go without saying, but it's the same thing with sunscreen. You have to actually put it on. You have to wear it. So people often ask me, what's your favorite sunscreen? It actually doesn't matter what my favorite is, because everyone has different skin types and the preference of finish on the face. I'm someone who doesn't wear makeup, so I like it to be glowy. I like the skin to look natural and glowy. I don't like a matte finish personally, but again, that's me. And then I have certain preferences when it comes to formula. But my point is, the one that I apply every day is my favorite, and that's going to differ perhaps than the one you prefer to apply every day. So you have to find the right thing, and then you have to actually apply it and do the action steps, and then keep doing them, even when they're boring and it's not convenient and all of that. You just do it because it's meaningful and it's beneficial, regardless of whether you feel like doing it or not. That's what discipline is. So that's how I have reaped the benefits of years of these good habits. Of course, it matters what we consume and what we avoid consuming as well in terms of food and drink. That affects the skin tremendously, because the skin is the largest organ. So everything that we consume, it's going to show up in our skin, our hair, these tissues. So I guess my point is, it's not just one thing. When people compliment my skin, I'm always very flattered, but it almost gets me scrambled, because when they ask me what it is that I'm doing, it's like, well, how much time do we have here? I will tell them immediately that it's 20 plus years of retin-A and sun protection, those two things. Those are the main things. The retin-A, the tretinoin, is doing the heavy lifting in terms of the condition of my skin. But of course, that only goes so far. If I'm not preserving and protecting the results, then I'm going to incur more sun damage, and we all are. I mean, I am incurring those damages as well, but I think it's a more delayed, because I started retin-A so young to treat my acne. But of course, we know that retin-A has all these fringe benefits of toning, tightening, firming the skin, increasing collagen production. And I had family members telling me that when you're 40, you're going to look back and say, thank you for having bad acne so that you had to get on this medication and everything. And I thought, oh, geez, I doubt it. But again, wisdom of the elders, they were absolutely correct. I could have never dreamt of an outcome like this, where the results are compounding and my skin is in better shape now in my 40s than it was in my 20s. It's in far better shape, actually. So now all I have to do is maintain it. I think there's nothing more beautiful than a woman in her 70s with wrinkled skin, but glowing skin. I think that's the most beautiful, sexy thing. So that's just aging naturally and letting Mother Nature take its course, but having preserved, beautiful, glowing, radiant skin. I love that aesthetic. So that's personally the aesthetic that I've chosen to aspire to. And so that's the route I've taken, the topical skin treatment route, if you will. So if that's interesting to you, then probably my skincare content resonates with you. That if you're one who is also doing this, chosen this path of, I don't like to say anti-aging, I like to say pro-healthy aging, pro-beautiful aging. So if you're like me, then probably it will resonate with you, and hopefully this will be helpful to you in some way. And if you've not gotten on the bandwagon of this particular hat, you can check it out. I will leave the link down below. I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I'm not affiliated with this company, although they should sponsor me because I've gotten so many people both on YouTube and in my life, in my community, to purchase this exact hat. So they probably wondered what their bump in sales, what's responsible for their bump in sales. And I have to say the culprit, you're looking at it, you're looking at her. So that's all I wanted to say for now. And with that, I have said what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching.